Welcome to the podcast. It's Mr. Ish. We're here at Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club, Kildare Clubhouse. Another edition of Brents Club podcast. We got a couple on our belts. We got about 2 or 3 of them, but it's always good to talk to you guys again, teenager talk. And we have a good mix today. We have some young ladies and a young man, so it should be pretty different. Let's all introduce ourselves. Let me get your name and your age.
My name is Ashley, and I'm 13.
Welcome to the podcast.
My name is Naya, and I'm also 13.
Welcome.
My name is Miguel. I'm 14.
Miguel's the old one here.
You old.
Yeah. You guys know that what we gonna talk about, right? We talking about drugs. We talking about substance abuse. We talking about anything that comes into your mind that's in that genre. I wanted to ask a question because I don't know if you guys have you ever taken a drug test?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you? For what?
For I don't know. They did it on my they did it on my mom's job once. And
Did
I
it in your
wanted to
mom's
do
job?
it for fun.
Okay. Were you nervous? Why were you nervous when did you ever use any type of drugs? That all of a sudden you're nervous. So you can't get nervous if you didn't use no drug. You should be fine.
I was just nervous.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all get nervous all the time anyhow. Nah, I'm pretty good. So nobody else is taking a drug test, right?
COVID is not a drug test.
No,
No.
it's not a drug test. I take COVID tests all the time. It's a little different because they test you for different.
Nicotine, they take you for marijuana, tobacco. In the hospital, they do one.
They doing?
Yeah.
Well, if you have an accident, they usually test you just because they want to make sure that that it's not that you have alcohol in your system or you have any type of pills or they don't really test for nicotine for that. But I'm saying any other form of drugs. They have a simple one that kind of tests marijuana and maybe some pills, and then they have other ones that test marijuana, cocaine, amphetamines, and all types of other things. So they have a more intrusive test, and then they have a basic test.
My mom told me that for a job for the people who come in from the hospital, if they're having an asthma attack, they get a drug test that to see what's causing it, a drug test.
Well,
if it's marijuana.
Well, with those, they always want to test because they want to make sure that if they're going to give you another type of medicine, that it doesn't have a reaction to what you have. Because you could easily say, I could ask you, have you taken anything? No.
No.
And then all of a sudden you're over there and you took 17 pills. Oh, I forgot to tell you I took those pills. And then I give you something else as a nurse or a doctor, it could affect you and, you could go into cardiac arrest or something like that. So they don't take your word for it. They'll ask you, though, have you taken anything?
No.
I smoked a little weed. Okay, they're still going to test you. They like that you're honest with them, but they don't care. They're going to test you anyhow. They're going to take that blood test. And also testing is one of those things that if you want a real, you know how all you guys want to have a lot of money?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of you just want to be YouTube famous, but some people that want to have corporate jobs and get real jobs or work for the Department of Education and stuff like that, you need to be drug tested. Because I don't want my kid around somebody who's always smoking weed or doing drugs and teaching them, and they come in high or none of that stuff. So it's one of those things that, especially when you have a job that's for the state or for the city, they're probably going to drug test you. So be aware that's an option. And when you get a good job, they drug test you right then and there. So it's not like you have an option of, I'm going to come back tomorrow and hopefully I'm clean and I'm going to drink 7 cups of vinegar and I'm going to go through all these things on the internet to clean out. No, it's not going to work. They have some really different drug tests, and this is for police officers. All they do is just take a piece of your hair. Bing! That's it. They just pluck a little hair. And for the ones that are bald, they'll find some place in your body that has hair.
The chest hair.
No, because a lot of guys, they'll shave down, and they just have a bald head. Y'all don't got no hair. Believe me, we'll find the hair somewhere. Bling! Pluck that out, and it tells them for about 6 months if you use drugs. So if you want to be a police officer, you can't get around it. They're gonna
They just pull it from here.
They're gonna pull it from wherever they're gonna pull it, but they're gonna pull it. They're gonna find the hair. There's nobody that's hairless around. I mean, there's some people that are. I ain't gonna laugh, but there's some people that have a medical issue. They don't have hairs, but they'll find a way to do this.
Right.
Athletes get it done all the time.
I
Random
heard
drug
about this
testing.
thing. She there was this one. She was a track runner, and
Yeah.
that
She was an Olympic
did a
runner.
drug, and she got drug tested, and she tested high for marijuana.
Yeah, she ain't test for nothing but marijuana, and she couldn't perform in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Damn.
and she was a basically great track star. She was definitely on the New York, I mean, USA track team. She was fast as hell, but
Or
she tested positive for marijuana,
and they took her
and they
out.
said, "Bam, bam, you can't go to the Olympics." That happens all the time. Sometimes they testing for like for steroids and for enhancements and stuff like that. But if they find anything that you're not supposed to have in your system, they basically kick you out.
Yeah.
What's up, Miguel?
One time I was little, right? I was like 5 years old.
You
I was with my
you
mom,
got
right?
drug tested at 5 years
No,
old?
no, no,
Oh,
no.
okay,
I
I
was
was gonna
I was
say.
with my mom, right? That was in Dominican Republic. I was
Okay.
with my mom. I saw someone like smoking something from like the nose, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what it was, so I asked my mom what it was. I thought it was candy. So I went like, "What is this?" And she told me, "You too young. You young.
You too
Yeah,
young for
no."
it? Yeah, there's sometimes, especially it's a thing in Puerto Rico and Santo Domingo and stuff like that. People do different type of drugs than over here than in the city. They do animal tranquilizers and stuff like that. Just because there's a lot of animals in these islands, like cattle and horses and stuff like that. So it's probably easier for them to get those drugs for the animals than to actually buy it for somebody. So since there's so many animals, and I guess the vets are probably a little easier to get these medicines from, they do all types of weird drugs,
Yup.
and and that affects them. And they usually like to smoke it like that. I saw a documentary like that. They like to burn it in aluminum foil and smoke it and
Yeah,
just
my
get the
mom.
vapors. It's almost like when people used to smoke crack out of a little bottle, a little glass bottle and stuff like that. So it's a high that goes right into your system quickly. So for the people that don't like to inject anything and stuff like that, this is a way of them doing it.
Another method.
Another one?
Method.
Yeah. And meth is another. Do you guys even have an idea of what's in meth?
Meth. A lot.
It's the amount of chemicals that are in there. If you were to
Yeah,
put
a
it all
lot of
together,
chemicals.
you'd be like, who the hell is using this?
And nicotine.
Well, nicotine is different because there is tobacco and they spray with a lot of stuff. But meth, they're using like battery acid. They're using like stuff that's why a lot of meth has their teeth are all rotted out and all that stuff. They're using these real hardcore chemicals that we use like to clean floors and run a battery, like the acid from a battery and stuff like that. They mixed it with something else, and
I
that's
think
what you
will kill you.
and that's what you're smoking. So these chemicals are really strong, and that's what kills the little brain cells in your head.
I have a question. Could weed kill you too?
Yes.
Um, I think anything in big doses could probably be harmful to you. Um, weed is becoming more general now. Now that it's becoming legal in 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 a lot of states.
Especially here in New
I think
York.
New York now is one of them. They started with the legal marijuana for medicine, and now they're opening shops that you could just buy
And then
legal
just
marijuana. And there's only like two legal ones now, I think two or three, but there's a whole bunch of illegal ones. There's like smoke shops that sell smoke right now, and there's an illegal spot, but it's a little more legal now than before. But you have to also think that whenever you're using any type of drug, even if you use, like for me, if I use Tylenol and I have like two Tylenol, like I'm one of those people. If I take a pill, I'm dozed out. I'm being like, and it's just my body's not used to having chemicals or these things in it. So for other people, like my wife could take 6 Tylenols and it don't affect her because she takes so many pills that her body's it affects her differently.
They
So
say that
for me is the difference. It's different.
they say that one puff from the hookah is like 100 times worse than a beat.
Well, it's probably 100 times worse than a cigarette, just because the hookah is laced with a whole bunch they spray it with a whole bunch of chemicals to either give it a flavor of
Okay.
pineapple or apple or
Yeah.
whatever they're trying to do, and
And the
then
charcoal as well.
and then the charcoal, and there's no filter. That's the key. Cigarettes have like that little part where you smoke out of. That's a filter. So some of it goes
They
through,
put water on it. That's all.
and it goes. Yeah, well, the water's just to make the smoke and
like
evaporate
to
the
evaporate
the
it.
ta- the charcoal. But a cigarette at least has a filter. They used to sell cigarettes when I was young, when I was a kid. that had no filters. That it was just basically just straight
It's like
tobacco.
it's like how they make it. Like they put the flavor in it. They make holes in the aluminum.
Well, that's the whole, the whole formality of making the
Mm.
holes so the charcoal could burn and all that, and then they smoke it. Hookah really started getting hookah's been around for years, but it was really more famous in like in Egypt, in these other places. The Arabs used to do it
Yeah,
and
the
stuff like that.
Arabs.
Morocco, it was kind of part of their culture. Then I noticed that hookah started coming here because people can't smoke in the club. It's illegal for you to smoke in the
Yeah.
club. But they found they found a little loop with bringing the hookah because the hookah is not a cigarette. So people were like, the people that used to like smoking cigarettes in the club or cigars or whatever, they're like, oh man, I don't want to go outside and smoke a cigarette. I could bring something to the table which I could share with 4 people, and I could still blow smoke in the air like if I'm smoking a cigarette. And then once they started adding the flavors and all that stuff, and it became more available in different lounges and in clubs and stuff like that, people found a way to make money off of it. So when you go to a club, we'll sell you a hookah setup. That's what they call it, setup or a package, and it'd be like $50. You could get one flavor or something like that, and then you smoke it up, and then he comes and he says, "Yo, what y'all got? Oh, I got the next one," and then he spends $50 more, and then all of a sudden that hookah's always there, and they keep bringing different ones. But technically, you're paying $50 every time they're doing a switch.
Yep.
So that's the way it works. Everyone's gonna find a way to make money. So that's the way hookah came a little more, streamlined.
More in Dominican Republic, like when you go to Dominican Republic in the night, si usted va para la 42, para esa vaina, you gonna see hookah everywhere.
That
Bro.
that became the new thing because, like I told you, especially in the city, in Santo Domingo, you could smoke you could smoke cigarettes in like in the casinos. You could
Yeah.
smoke in the club. You could smoke in the lounges. But over here in the States, you can't do that. So people want to be in the lounge and they want to get their dance on, and they got that little girl over there and they're already dancing. They're getting their drink on. They don't want to have to go outside and go smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
In those 3 minutes, these Dominican guys is taking your girl. 3 minutes?
Word.
You go outside for 3 minutes and see if your girl's still at the bar. They're taking them away. Oh, papi. Oh, she went over there? Oh, see if she come back. She'll come back and she'll be married by the time you come back for smoking that cigarette. They ain't playing around. These people are aggressive. Spanish people are aggressive. So that's Puerto
They
Ricans
want
too.
a girl, they gonna get them.
They're aggressive. So if you go outside smoking a cigarette, your girl got a new husband. she already moved on. She ain't playing around with you. So it's one of those things that they definitely don't want to go outside. They
I
take the
also
hookah
heard
challenge.
Back, I don't know, a long time ago, people say that they used to put cocaine in Coca-Cola.
In what?
What?
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that was always a myth. I can't tell you that it's real now, but people have always said that back in the days when Coca-Cola first started, that it had a hint of coke. I think it could be an urban legend, just so that people could be like, "Oh, that's the name of it, Coke." I don't know. I can't tell you. I know that I like Coke more than Pepsi. That I can tell you.
I don't like soda.
They
It's
taste
just-
like the
it's too
I have a
fizzy.
question, Mister.
Yes.
If your parents tell you that you can't drink coffee, whether like you drink Coca-Cola, it has caffeine.
Yeah. I'm a parent, and my daughter is 5 years old. She likes coffee, so I don't let her drink coffee. But what I let her drink is like the French vanilla milk, and she thinks she's drinking coffee. So the guy downstairs in the deli, he like warms up the milk, and she thinks she's having a cup of coffee, but she's actually having milk that's flavored. So she thinks she's having coffee. But coffee, like, with all these things, they could tell you one time that something is good for you, and then the next day
It's bad for
there's a
you.
test that's bad for you. There's always said that if you had wine, you had a glass of wine every day, it's good for you. It gives your metabolism, moving and all that. And then another one tells you, you had 2 glasses of wine, it's gonna affect your blood. And then a glass of wine affects your brain. There's always a test that says that this is good for you, and there's always a test that's going to
And
say
it's
this
gonna say
is
bad
bad
for
for
you.
you. I mean, everything in moderation is what I would say.
Those things like Fireball will make you high.
Oh, Fireball?
Hi.
No, Fireball is just an...
Fireball
You
makes
talking about the alcohol?
high.
The shots?
Canelilla.
You talking about the whiskey? The
Yeah.
Fireball whiskey?
At the
Oh,
moment.
do you think it makes you high? Que
Well,
palabra.
it doesn't
makes
make
you
him
high.
high, but it gets
It
him.
makes
well,
it gets you drunk.
First
It
we have
makes
to.
you in another world.
First we have to ask him if he took it.
Yeah, have
Did
you
you
took
take
it? How
it?
you
Yeah,
know?
let's go there. Let's
Don't
open up.
lie.
Let's open up a can of worms right now.
Miguelito.
Have you had?
Canelilla
Hold up a
slash
second.
Fireball.
Have you had a Fireball before?
No. probably
Then
not.
Be
what-
honest. Be honest. We're not here to judge you. If you
I've never
had
had
it before and you tasted it before, then you can have this conversation. Have you
I've never
tasted
had one.
Fireball before?
I have.
Huh?
What?
Yes,
Okay,
one
she's being
time
honest.
because
I ain't gonna lie to you, I have to.
late at night. It was late at night, right? And my mom was her little rumbita, whatever,
man.
having fun. So she just left the cup there because from afar away, it looked like Coca-Cola because it was dark.
No,
it was dark.
Fireball looked
It was-
nothing
Okay,
like
okay, okay,
Coca-Cola.
okay.
It was wait, hold on.
Hold
It was
on a
dark.
second.
It was dark. So I turned on the light and I was like, what does it smell like? Cinnamon.
Oh,
I'm gonna be honest.
So I was like, because of the cinnamon smell, I was like, is this like a cinnamony water drink? So I took it, and my mom, that was like,
all right.
Never
Ashley.
again.
You knew exactly what you were doing. Let's
No, I
let's
wasn't.
stop faking the funk.
I didn't
You
even
knew that if
know.
your mother was having her friends over and they
she
listened to
didn't have
that,
her friends over.
she's by herself.
This is her by herself.
Oh my God, it's even worse. So she's by herself and she's getting her drink on, and you're gonna be like, "Ooh, this smells like cinnamon."
It
you see
smell
your
like
you see your mother acting a fool for about 2 hours, and you're gonna be like, "Yeah, this is cinnamon water my
Yeah.
mother's drinking." Yeah, all right. You know exactly what it was.
That's an ish.
You were curious.
That
No,
was the
but
worst
no-
mistake I've ever made.
No, but not. This is serious though. That's how some people
Get addicted.
she no, but I'm not saying get
So I'm
addicted.
wrong
but
because-
that's hold on a second. That's how some people try other things. Like if your mother was to do the same thing and she left a little joint and you'd be like, let me see what it's about. And you take a couple of puffs, now you know what weed is. You'd be like, oh, it doesn't affect me this way. Then your friends want to smoke, then you start smoking weed with them. And then you know what, I already smoke a blunt. Let me try something different. And that's how different steps take.
Yeah.
So the same way you were curious about that little drink is how people get curious about a drug. And that's how we could start. Now Miguel's gonna open up. Hold on a second. Let me put him back on. Cause he knew that he was lying, so now he has to tell the truth.
Look, I'm gonna be honest.
Yes, thank you, Miguel.
I have drink Fireball, Patron, cerveza. I have drink vino. I have drink
I wasn't
Yes,
ready.
you're
I wasn't ready for
this.
Miguel. I wasn't ready for your list, Miguel.
He
So
said
he had Patron.
Patron, vino,
cerveza.
canelilla, cerveza.
All right, so you're a regular at the bar. What's going on? You're a regular at the bar. All right, Miguel. So you've tasted these things. So how does
Patron is crazy.
so the first let's go like Ashley. How did you get introduced to it?
I mean,
It was around you. You
No.
didn't go to the store and you didn't buy a bottle of Patron.
no, it was there. Like it was in a party. I was.
Okay, so it was around
My
you.
uncle gave it to me. I was like,
Oh.
all right.
Uncle.
Uncle.
It always be the uncle.
That'd be Theo.
Yo,
Theo's
yeah,
been
we-
messing you up.
No, look, I was like, I was like there. I was.
You was
like,
at a celebration.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's sometime like 2 times a year. Put it like-
Okay, so you was at a celebration.
And a little bit, it's not that much.
It was there, and your uncle, whatever your uncle is, I'm not gonna give him a shout out. He said, "Ay, take a, coge una cerveza," and you took a sip.
I
of the
was
beer.
like, nah, but then I just.
But then you felt like if I
The
take this, I feel
uncles.
older. So you took a little beer. So how did it make you feel? It made you feel good. You made you feel like you was a grown up. Or tell me
The
how
beer,
it made you feel.
personally, that's bad. I don't like it.
It tastes nasty. Like.
Oh,
It tastes
now you
nasty.
opening up too, because you didn't say that you was drinking beer. You said
No,
you had
not
a
beer.
You said
no,
you had a shot.
canelilla. The fireball drink. It tastes nasty.
Okay,
It tastes like straight up
Don't-
cinnamon. No,
don't-
not beer. Not
Okay,
beer.
okay, because he's talking about beer right now. You
It's
had
a Corona.
I thought that
Like
you.
como una Corona.
Yeah, Corona's a beer.
Yeah,
He
that
probably, he
tastes
probably,
nasty.
he probably had a
It tastes
presidente.
nasty.
That's nasty.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. You see, he knows. He had a presidente.
Nasty.
So go ahead, Miguel. So you were introduced to the beer. How did the Patron get into your system? That's where I want to be at.
Yeah, whatnot.
Because Patron is a little expensive. You don't leave that around. You don't be like, yo, let me put that here and let people play with it. That's you getting to the top shelf situation.
Scrum
that time, look, that time, I didn't know.
You
I
didn't
didn't know. I thought it was water.
Water.
I thought it was water.
Okay,
Patron
so you,
is clear.
so you thought it was water in a small cup.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
In a small cup.
No, it was like a cup like this, right?
Okay.
But it was like from here. I just drink it all, and I was like,
Okay, let me
but then
give
I
you
just-
let me give you an example. Let me tell you something. I'm telling all of you three guys here and the rest of you guys. If there is a cup that an adult has that looks like it has a little bit of water,
They gave it to me.
it is
I
not
didn't know.
water.
It's
It's
not
never
water.
it's never going to be water. If I'm holding this cup and it has just a little bit of white liquid and I'm going like this and I'm swirling it around and I'm squigging it, it is not water. Believe me, it's not
The
water.
time I drank the Fireball drink, my mom was like, sigue ahí, sigue averiguando.
Oh, you
Porque
know,
un día-
Malibu?
Of
Nah.
course, I know Malibu. Malibu's a nice place in California.
the
Oh, you
drink.
talking about that? Oh, yeah, I know Malibu too. I frequent Malibu.
How you know all of this, Miguel?
I see it because
Malibu, you send me a picture of your house, but I think you have a bar in your house.
not how.
Okay.
Like a little
I
section
do.
con todo lo
If not, we're gonna have to lock up his we're gonna have to lock up his alcohol
Nah, I
cabinet.
don't like
I
that. I
have
don't
a
like
little
that.
bar that
my
my parents
my mom,
use.
she got a little closet full of all her wine.
Does she have it locked or? Is it
Yeah,
just
she has it
open?
locked.
Okay.
Mine
Obviously,
it's like a
ish.
it's like a
No,
a
some
setup.
people don't have it like that.
Yeah.
Some people just
The
have it.
old
They're
people.
not gonna
It's
touch
out-
that.
It's out in
My
the
grandma,
open.
she just be having it there. She's been like,
Yeah. Some people be like, they're not gonna touch that.
Next thing you know, it's all gone.
Next thing you know, Miguel's taking the Patron, putting it in a cup and putting water in there. I
It's
know
water.
Miguel.
It's just water, grandma.
Okay,
It's
but
just water.
seriously speaking, so how did it make you feel? How you felt after you were introduced to this alcohol?
I want to sleep.
You want to see?
Yeah.
When I drink the
So
Fireball,
when you woke up, you thought it was a big deal that you just drank alcohol, or is it something that you think you're gonna, now that you know what it is, you're gonna partake
No.
in it in the future?
No,
I don't.
I don't really not the type of guys that drink. I don't like drinking alcohol that
Okay.
much.
I don't understand
That
how you got
much.
you adults just
Not that much.
drink
I
that
don't think that much.
because when because when I drank the Fireball, when I was like. I went to sleep for a little, then I woke up because I was like, why is my head hurting so much? I woke up and I was like, whoa, like dizzy.
You have to
como-
remember, this alcohol has a lot of.
Yeah, and it has different effects on
Now I have a
different
question.
effects.
How you ever have hookah?
No, once. No.
What?
She just said no, but then she says once.
Once. My mom, my
Oh,
tia, my cousin.
We're gonna have to.
They was having a party and they just
Oh
left it there
my.
to go take some pictures.
What?
And
Let
I
me
was
tell
like,
you something.
I was like, what is this? It looked interesting because I was an
Stop
8.
rocking back and
You
forth.
could
I
take
don't
about
check the plug.
vape, but
I
not
was
hookah.
no.
Yo, let me
yeah,
tell you
hookah.
something.
I was,
Vape, not hookah. Like
No.
nah.
no, but a hookah that was there. It looked and I was like, what is this?
This is why
then
I say.
I was an 8-year-old interested kid.
I'm
This
gonna be
is why-
honest. When
and
I
I'm gonna tell you
grow,
something right
I
now.
want to taste hookah. I'm not
Okay,
gonna lie. I wanna-
this is something that this is
Hookah
why,
tastes like
as a
home.
parent, I don't want to have a party with my kids around.
I'll taste vape.
No.
You
I have
understand?
to
When
taste
it's an
vape.
adult time and I want to hang out with my friends, let's say in my house or something like that, my girls need to go to their grandmother's house. I don't want you around. I don't want you around seeing me have a beer.
Because
I don't
God
want
forbid
you
they might-
around with people, you know, like yourself, thinking that that's water when it's something else. I don't want you around. Plus, I don't want my kids around. I'm having adult time.
Because then they God forbid they might think it's water. And
Yeah,
they-
Water.
but also
Water.
look, you can't be a parent if you're drinking, because God forbid your kid falls off the bunk bed,
Ooh.
breaks his arm,
Ooh.
and you call in the ambulance. You're drunk, and when the ambulance comes, they'll be like, "You was drinking," and that kid falls off the, and then all of a sudden they're taking your kid away from you. Your
My
ACS
mom,
is there
she-
writing reports. Oh, you can't even
The
take a
only
cab
th-
with them. I mean, you can't get in your car
The
and drive.
only time she
It's
drinks
a lot.
is let me tell you the only time my mom drinks. It's either when she needs some me time because she works a lot.
Oh, so you need me time all the time.
No, she doesn't need. No, she doesn't like drink all the time. She drinks New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and that's it.
And the other 364
Listen.
days that you didn't list.
No.
Listen, I have a question.
A
You know
Corona
something that
once and now and then a presidente once and now and then. But she
Usted-
don't drink like that.
¿Usted conoce algo que se llama Malichewi?
Manischewitz.
No, Malichewi, una vaina así, una vaina de vino. Una...
Sí, Manischewitz.
Eso mismo.
Yeah. It's like a grape one.
Sí, esa vaina es grande. esa vaina
Yeah.
así.
That's a Jewish alcohol. They usually
I haven't tasted
they usually
Are you sure?
they
Yeah.
usually have it for Passover and for these Jewish events. It's a kosher alcohol. It's called Manischewitz.
My mom, there's
It
this
tastes like
sparkling.
it's like a grape. It's made out of a grape flavor.
There's this.
Almost.
It's like sparkling. It's like sparkling, like
Like
whatever.
apple cider?
Yeah, but it has 1% alcohol. My mom gets it all the Thanksgiving and New Year's. Those are the only times you get sick.
And don't try to defend your mother. You know your mother's hitting that bottle a couple of times.
I don't know. My mom was like,
I know your mom. You a little quiet, but I know your mom. Mom's
look,
got a bar
look.
in her house.
Yes, it's like out in the open.
Okay.
She has like a lot.
My
She
mom has a lock on
um,
hers though. Thank God.
So your mom's has a couple of nightcaps.
And then she has like little cups too.
Shot
Yeah,
glasses.
shot glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, she knows.
Shot glasses.
Shot glasses.
Yeah, it's just out in the.
Me and my sister, we taking shots of
Oh, you'll
Sprite.
be taking shots.
A Sprite. Sprite.
Yeah, all right.
Sprite.
You'll be
apple
taking. You'll be taking
Malta.
Patron,
she has,
Patron Spike.
She has like
not
all
not
the
like my girl who
flavors.
thinks it's water. And we also take like Malta.
Guys,
Malta
we
Morena.
all kid, we're kidding around, but this is why we have these conversations, because you guys are introduced without even knowing to alcohol already, right?
Oh, Mr.
The next thing you're introduced to, like you want to know, stop moving the mics around, guys, is hookah. The next thing you know is that your uncle, especially your uncle, he's around smoking a little weed and leaves it on the table or something like that. Then you're introduced to that. And then what about, oh, I got a headache, Theo. Oh, take this pill, and all of a sudden you took OxyContin and you don't even know, and you hooked to a pill. So it's different. It's different ways.
So I also have a story that relates to Miguel too. That
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Please don't tell me it was. I thought it was water.
Miguel,
It's Corona too. That one.
What you
Okay.
thought Corona was? Apple juice?
Corona is like something
okay.
that agri.
So hold on a
It
second.
is
So she's gonna tell me. So the
So-
Corona was in a bottle.
No,
and-
it wasn't in the bottle. It was like in a cup, and like you couldn't see what color it was. So I was like, oh, it's probably like juice. So I drank it. I fell asleep, and then I woke up and my head was hurting.
Okay.
It's just I don't know how you.
I don't
like,
even know how I feel
I
about
be,
you guys.
like-
You guys had experiences that I didn't think they
I
had.
be cause right. I just be watching
Because,
my
like-
mom drink a Corona. I'll be like, y'all got a lot of variable items to drink. Us kids, we don't. Like, I just be like, cause
You don't
sometimes
have a lot to
I
drink.
I be looking.
Iced tea, water,
I be looking at my
sparkling
fridge,
water,
and my fridge be so empty.
seltzer. But you know
and
what?
then there
You know
be
what's
like
always
a
free?
Corona. I'd be like, damn, I wish I was just old so I could just
Like
drink it.
when you
Look, it's
taste it for the
nice.
first time, it's like
It's
you-
nasty.
If you open the
It's
sink, this
nasty.
thing that comes out and
It's
the H2O
water.
is water.
It's
You put a
water.
cup under it and you sip it.
But
it's
it's
not a
called filtered
problem.
water. We use a
All
filter.
right, I drink water
You
from a
just
pump
drink
outside. I don't
tap?
care. Of course.
Ew.
There's no
Ashley,
problem with
have
that.
you ever have drugs before?
No.
Uh-oh.
What
I didn't
kind of
want
drugs?
to
Like,
get
What
into
kind of drugs
that.
are we talking about?
Like,
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, Miguel
No.
Miguel did the whole symbol of the sniffer.
Have you?
No, I don't want to get into this. This is 27 minutes. I want to stop right there.
No, I've never
because
had drugs.
I
BT
might,
dubs.
I may look at you guys a little different.
Have you ever had painkillers?
She wants to see her mama's
Yeah,
booty.
yeah, painkillers I have.
Huh?
Cool. I had painkillers before.
Really? Oh, painkiller?
Yeah.
People say they get addicted to painkillers.
You
huh?
could. I never told you a story that I hit a
No.
tree. I hit a tree riding my mountain bike at about 55 miles an hour, and I broke.
think you did tell us.
I broke all my bones in my body.
No.
If I didn't have painkillers, I would have been crying. I mean, I still was crying, but painkillers, they do have a purpose, but you have
It's
to
called
use
to
them.
kill the pain.
You have to use them,
from
How
your
did you got
heart.
addicted to them?
because you
Cause-
you take them when you don't need them. That's
Or
like
you
sometimes.
take them thinking when you feel pain.
Okay, supposedly. But look at me. You guys always saying, "Yo, Ish, why you always eating these cough drops?"
Oh,
Sometimes that's how addiction is.
I don't even need
like
cough
I don't
drops,
need
yeah.
a cough drop, but since it's right here in front of me, I just take another one. So think of it that same way with a painkiller. I took a painkiller and I'm feeling all right. An hour later, I'm like, you know what? This didn't do nothing for me, and I take another painkiller.
I
And it's
did-
and something that you're supposed to take,
Melatonin.
let's say 3 times a day. Now all of a sudden I took 6 pills. Now I feel nice with those 6 pills, but tomorrow I want to feel nice again. So
Melatonin.
I'm taking 6 or 10 pills or something.
I
like
did
that.
it with
So-
melatonin once, cause like first the melatonin it didn't like I wasn't really sleeping, cause I couldn't go to sleep. I took one and I was like,
Yeah, you
damn, I
count.
didn't do
You know how
nothing.
you go to sleep?
So
I'm gonna tell you how you go to sleep. Read a book. I bet
I'm
you.
not- I
bet
hate
you.
reading
You'll
books.
be nice and bored, and you'll fall asleep.
I just be watching my phone.
Here
so
you
I fall
go.
asleep.
Get a big book like this and start reading, and your eyes will start going twisty and all that stuff. You'll be like, all of a
I
sudden,
don't
real
snore.
quick. That's the
No,
best.
I don't
That's the
not
My
best
mom.
one.
Oh, let me not put my mom on blast.
All right, don't put it on blast. All right, guys, I have to end this podcast. We're
Bye,
gonna go
Toulouse.
2 hours.
Yo,
with it.
Ashley, have you ever had weed before?
Oh my God!
Wait,
we already
wait,
said,
wait,
we already
what
said
we
we're not
talking
talking
about?
about. I'm out of here.
Like
Hey, Miguel, have you
Miguel-
ever had weed?
Miguel's taking over. Miguel's taking over my podcast. We're out of here.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check.
Hold on. Don't go this way. We're out of here.